I'm about to share the biggest financial mistake of my life. A mistake that cost me my retirement, my home, and nearly destroyed my family. And the worst part? I did it all out of love. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't make the same mistake I did. Because when I co-signed that loan for my son, I thought I was being a good parent. I was wrong. Let me take you back to where it all started. My son was 28 years old. He had a good job, or so I thought. He came to me with an opportunity. A business venture that would change his life. All he needed was someone to guarantee the loan. Just a signature. That's all. I didn't hesitate. He was my son. My flesh and blood. How could I say no? The bank wouldn't approve him a loan. His credit wasn't perfect. But with my name on the line, they said yes immediately. That single signature changed everything. Within 6 months, his business failed. The calls started coming. First from him. Then from the bank. Then from collection agencies. The debt was now mine. Here's what nobody tells you about guaranteeing loans. When you sign that paper, you're not just helping. You're becoming fully responsible. Not partially. Not secondarily. Fully responsible. The legal term is joint and several liability. It means the creditor can come after you first. They don't have to chase your child. They can skip right to you. And they will. Because you're the one with assets. I learned this the hard way. My son couldn't pay. He had nothing to take. But I did. I had my house. My retirement savings. My car. Everything he'd spent 40 years building. The bank didn't care about my intentions. They didn't care that I was trying to help my child. They wanted their money. And legally, I owed it to them. Let me break down what happened next. The monthly payments were $1,500. When my son stopped paying, that burden fell entirely on me. I was already retired. Living on a fixed income. That $1,500 was more than half my monthly budget. I tried to make it work. I cut every expense I could. No more dinners out. No more gifts for grandchildren. I stopped my medications to save money. I ate rice and beans for months. But it wasn't enough. The debt was too large. The interest kept adding up. Late fees piled on. Within a year, I was behind on my own mortgage. The house I'd lived in for 30 years was in jeopardy. My son felt terrible. He really did. But feeling bad doesn't pay bills. He was struggling himself. Working 2 jobs just to keep his own apartment. There was nothing left to give me. This is where enabling becomes clear. By guaranteeing that loan, I didn't help him succeed. I helped him fail more expensively. He took a risk he couldn't afford because I made it possible. If the bank had said no, he would have found another way. A smaller business. A partner. More planning. But I removed that natural consequence. I made it too easy to fail. The psychological impact was devastating. My relationship with my son became strained. Every conversation turned into discussions about money. About the debt. About what went wrong. The love between us got buried under resentment and guilt. He felt guilty for destroying my finances. I felt angry that my help was taken for granted. Neither of us could move forward. The debt stood between us like a wall. I want you to understand something crucial. This isn't just about money. It's about the fundamental relationship between parents and adult children. There's a line between helping and enabling. I crossed it. Helping means supporting someone's genuine efforts toward independence. Enabling means removing the natural consequences of their choices. When you guarantee a debt, you're enabling. You're saying their poor planning doesn't have to matter. Banks exist for a reason. They assess risk professionally. When they say no, Therese, usually a good reason. They see something in the numbers that love makes us blind to. My son's credit wasn't good because he had a history of late payments. Small debts had ignored. Credit cards had maxed out. These were warning signs. Signs I chose to ignore because I wanted to believe in him. The bank saw the truth. He wasn't ready for that responsibility. But I thought I knew better. I thought parental love could overcome financial reality. It can't. Here's what I wish I'd done instead. I wish I'd sat down with him and reviewed his actual financial situation. Not just his dreams. His real numbers. Income versus expenses. Savings. Debt to income ratio. I wish I'd asked hard questions. Why did the bank say no? What's your backup plan if this fails? How will you make payments during slow months? Do you have 6 months of expenses saved? If he couldn't answer these questions, he wasn't ready. And that would have been okay. Better to wait and prepare than to rush into disaster. I could have helped in other ways. Helped him improve his credit score. Taught him to build a proper business plan. Connected him with a mentor. Encouraged him to start smaller. These would have been real help. Instead, I took the easy path. I signed the paper. I thought I was solving his problem. But I was actually creating a much bigger one for both of us. The foreclosure process was humiliating. Notices on my door. Neighbors asking questions. Having to explain to my grandchildren why we had to move. Hacking up a lifetime of memories because of one signature. I ended up in a small apartment. My retirement savings were gone, used to try to keep up with payments. My credit score was destroyed. At 70 years old, I was starting over with nothing. But here's the truly tragic part. My son didn't learn from this either. Because it protected him from the consequences, he didn't face them directly. His credit took a hit, sure. But he didn't lose his home. He didn't lose his savings. I did. So he didn't learn the full lesson. A few years later, he asked his sister to co-sign for a car. She almost said yes. Until I told her my story. This is the cycle of enabling. It doesn't stop until someone breaks it. Until someone says no. Until natural consequences are allowed to teach their lessons. Let me be very clear about something. I still love my son. This isn't about blame or anger anymore. It's about understanding. Understanding that love doesn't mean removing all obstacles from someone's path. Real love sometimes means watching someone struggle. Watching them fail. Watching them learn. It's painful. It goes against every parental instinct. But it's necessary. Your adult children need to build their own financial lives. Their own credit. Their own track record of responsibility. You can't build it for them. And when you try, you often make things worse. If your child can't qualify for a loan on their own, Teresa reason. Maybe they need more time. More savings. Better credit. A different plan. These aren't failures. They're just reality. The bank's decision isn't personal. It's mathematical. They're not being mean. They're being realistic. And sometimes reality is the best teacher. I know what you're thinking. But what if it's a real emergency? What if they really need help? Here's my answer. There's a difference between need and want. Need is medical care. Need is food. Need is basic shelter. One is a business venture. One is a bigger house. One is a new car. Learn to distinguish between them. And even with real needs, there are better ways to help than guaranteeing debt. You can give money as a gift if you can afford it. But only what you can afford to lose completely. Never put your own security at risk. You can offer temporary help. A place to stay while they get back on their feet. Help with job searching. Connections to resources. These help without creating long-term financial entanglement. What you should never do is guarantee debt. Cosign loans. Use your home as collateral for their dreams. Put your retirement at risk for their business ventures. These are forms of enabling that can destroy both of you. I've talked to dozens of other parents who made similar mistakes. Every single one regrets it. Not one person told me it worked out well. Not one. That should tell you something. The parents who maintained good relationships with their adult children were the ones who set clear boundaries. Who said no when necessary. Who let their children face consequences and learn from them. It feels cruel in the moment. It feels like you're abandoning them. But you're not. You're respecting them as adults. You're trusting them to figure it out. And they usually do. My son eventually started a different business. Smaller. Self-funded. He worked a job while building it slowly. It took 5 years, but it succeeded. He did it without anyone's guarantee. And he's proud of that. Our relationship is healing now. It took time. It took honesty. It took both of us accepting our parts in what happened. But we're talking again. Really talking. Not just about money and debt. If I could go back, I'd have one conversation with my younger self. I'd say this. Your job as a parent of an adult child is not to prevent all failure. It's to be there when failure happens. To offer wisdom, not money. Support, not guarantees. Your children will make mistakes. They'll face setbacks. They'll struggle. This is how humans learn. This is how character develops. This is how adults are made. When you remove these learning opportunities, you're not helping. You're handicapping. You're creating dependence instead of independence. And that serves no one. So here's my advice. If your adult child asks you to guarantee a loan, say no. Say it with love. Say it with compassion. But say it firmly. Explain that you believe in them. That you know they can find another way. That you'll support them emotionally. But that you can't put your financial security at risk. If they get angry, let them be angry. If they accuse you of not caring, accept that accusation. Because you know the truth. You care enough to let them grow. You care enough to maintain your own stability so you can truly help if a real crisis comes. Your retirement isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't help anyone if you're financially destroyed. You become a burden instead of a support. That helps no one. Protect what you've built. You earned it. You saved it. You deserve to live your later years with dignity and security. Don't throw that away for a signature. I'm sharing this story because I don't want you to learn this lesson the way I did. I don't want you to lose everything because you loved too much in the wrong way. Love your children. Support them emotionally. Cheer for their successes. Comfort them in failures. But don't guarantee their debts. Don't enable their poor planning. Don't sacrifice your future for their present. This is the wisdom I wish it had. The boundary I wish it maintained. The word I wish it said. No. It's a complete sentence. It's an act of love. And it could save your life. Learn from my mistake. Please. Because I can't get those years back. I can't rebuild what I lost. But you still can protect what you have. Do it. Your future self will thank you.